Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Talking Town. My name is Steven, and I'm joined by my constant co-host, Adam. Okay. We're not redoing this. How's your day going, Adam?
It's all right. My Chiefs lost last night, so it's kind of, you know, not
I
been it's super great for me today, but that's all right.
I was up late enough to see the Hail Marys and stuff that happened in that game. I don't watch or understand. Well, I understand football, but I don't watch it. And my feed caught that, and I was like, "Uh-oh."
Yeah. It was a
Then when
little
I
rough to watch after being 14-0 or being up 14-0. So,
Oh, I didn't know that.
yep.
They had you in the first half, literally.
No, we had them in the first half.
No, I mean the Chiefs had you in the first half, and then yeah.
Yeah, but
Oh
oh
well, pour one out for the Chiefs, or don't. Everyone's got their team. Yeah, we also have a lot of Star Wars to talk about this podcast today. There was a sector qualifier this weekend over in Portland. I wasn't here last week. Did you guys talk about any predictions for this last weekend?
We did not.
No.
We had so much already that we went over that I don't even know if either of us were really tracking Portland
Fair.
properly. So uh yeah, we didn't have any predictions or anything like that.
Yeah. But you played Swoodle, right?
We did play Swoodle, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all that matters. I mean, we're still in the. I'm not calling it limbo because of this meta being like what do we get 6 weeks between where the Force Band was and Secrets of Power coming out, right?
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, we're like a month out, right?
Yeah, thank God. So excited. Um, just to refresh everything sounds kind of nice a little bit, and then after that rotation. But we got a while there.
Yeah, we got a bit.
Yeah. Yeah, we're here to still talk about the Portland sector qualifier today. There was, I mean, I don't remember play rate, so I'm gonna just transition over to the screen real quick. I got Swoo Meta stats pulled up here. Shout out to good old Michael Abraham, our other co-host, who is also named Adam, who is not here today. We have the top 8 here. The event had 470 players, you said?
Or 78.
478. There's a lot to kind of go over in this event. The kind of the big spike of the event to me, at least, was kind of something that everyone kind of saw coming as soon as Force Throw got banned, was the return of Han Solo 1. Anything that stood out to you within the beginning of this event, or at least like leading up to it, Steven?
Leading up to it, not really. I mean, I feel like myself as well as even a fair number of other local people after like a stretch of maybe like 3 PQs over a month, we've kind of gone into, you know, slow season to an extent.
Mm,
Um, so I feel like we've been a little just out of it a little bit more locally anyways.
yeah.
But I mean, main thing for me was, I guess I just was not tracking the meta well at all because I assumed we'd get a fair bit more aggro at this event. Clearly, that didn't really end up being the case.
Yeah.
But I mean, overall, nothing really surprises me that much. I think if I had to guess, this seems about right. Um, at least when you look at the top 8, the most people probably would have assumed a Kira, a Cad, probably at least 2 Han 2s. Anakin's a little interesting, but not like particularly crazy, at least in my opinion. A Han 1's not out of the crazy. I mean, the Palp Yellow doing well.
I think
I
that
mean,
was just such an interesting call, you know.
yeah, I agree from a meta call. I'm a little
Yeah.
surprised with that. I mean, it doesn't surprise me that something like much more ha- do I really want to consider it hard control? I mean, not really, but
No, but
I consider
it's
it's more
definitely a
control than Kira,
yeah.
and that doesn't surprise me that something got in there uh, at all, just because of how much mid range does exist. But
Yeah, I mean it's such a mid-range killer deck that like given the top 8 that it had where, you know, I know yeah, I don't think in top 8 they showed him on stream, but in top 8 it was, you know, Palpatine versus the Han Solo Green, which is arguably his worst matchup here just because it can get away with pushing out so much damage well ahead of, you know, Palpatine's actual like curve.
mhm,
But or the Kira. It's the Kira, one of those. But you know, he got away with not seeing either of those, and then from there, it's his favorite matchup all the way up, which was just a hero red blue.
yeah,
So, I mean, going further, you know, back to like the start of this event, though. I mean, even a couple of weeks ago when we were talking about how does the force throw band shape the meta, and do some of these hero blue red decks, you know, go off to the wayside. Uh, if that is what I said, and if anyone can find it back in an older video, I'd be happy to see the clip. But yeah, I would have been very wrong. Han Solo 2 or Han 2 Blue is 3 of this top 8, which is crazy. Anakin Skywalker still has always kind of just like carried his own. He's always almost there. There's never a large quantity of them, but like you should expect one in the top 8 somehow. I think it's
or
such
somewhere in the top, because it's one of those decks where it's like, oh man, I want to play Anakin because it does certain Han 2 things better, but Han 2 is just a more consistent Anakin, and it's not so initiative based.
yes.
So like, you know, but
But his leader side, I mean both sides of this card are just insane. You know, you have to remember that like he'll come down to be a 6/7 with overwhelm, and your opponent has to deal with him or they will just lose. But
mhm.
we'll get into some of these lists here shortly. I'm gonna jump back over to there we go. But yeah, they're really you know, you guys touched on quite a bit in regards to the upcoming set. I know there's some Secrets of Power leaks and spoilers that we've gotten in the meantime that are pretty freaking cool that we'll probably touch on in a future episode. That way we kind of set the content up better on the schedule for you know, as we get closer to the actual release. Cover some of the meta and like competitive stuff in the meantime. I know you said you haven't played much in a little while, Steven. We have a PQ coming up, or at least you do. Using this information from like how this turned out, or for the Portland qualifier or Portland sector qualifier, is there anything in particular that you kind of take away from this that you're gonna have to think about for that?
I mean, I'm sure there's gonna be a ton of just mid range and soft control. So I'm trying to think back to the Kansas City meta, and the other element of it too is, well, what's the meta that I have to worry about? And
Yeah.
like no disrespect to like players, but like when you're going to an event that you're familiar locally, you kind of have to assume, okay, well, who you might have an idea of like what players are going to be there, what players are going to attend, what are they going to play, because they're the ones that you might be playing at the top tables or in top
Mm-hmm.
cut. So just depending on where your expectations are set, right? So like what am I going to have to worry about? Like obviously in round one, you could very easily run into a tricky matchup, but if they're not as competitive of a player or a little more unfamiliar with the deck, uh, they're more likely to make play mistakes that you can just win, just from a familiarity perspective. So
Yeah.
so at least my headspace right now is like, okay, well, what can I play that's gonna help me maybe rounds like 4 to, because I'm gonna assume there's gonna be 6 or 7 rounds, right? Like rounds 4 to 7 into Top Cut, and I assume, just knowing Kansas City, I'm sure we're gonna have a Kira player or two. I'm sure we're gonna have, uh,
Yoda.
you
Yoba.
know, potentially Yoda. Um, Again, I feel like with Yoda, at least some of that crossover just pairs well into like, okay, well, maybe I'm sure there's going to be a decent amount of Hantu blues. Um, and I know it's green, it's a different color, but you could also have Hantu green, which I'm sure our buddy John will be running. So, accounting for that, like what's going to be good into that. And I'm sure we'll be seeing some just other things like, Palpatine won a PQ, so I'm sure there's going to be more Palpatine even in the early stages. So yeah, I mean that's kind of what I have to anticipate going forward. I think for that, um, and then you'll always have something sprinkled in, I'm sure.
Yeah. They're obviously that playing, like, I don't know if you guys touched on it last week, but you and I were talking about it a couple weeks ago when there was a showdown in town, and I went to the showdown, and I was just kind of like throwing at ideas at you to figure out like what would be, in my opinion, because we had a showdown with a best of 1 Swiss into a best of 3 top 8, which doesn't matter to me. I'm there to play, there to have fun. We had a good time. I got second, but I had picked Vader Yellow just because, like, at the time, it had been a little while since people had seen Vader. He had fallen off so hard off the cliff of Force Throw plus bombing runs everywhere, and no one had that in their sideboard. Or at least not very many, which is fine. You kind of have the ability sometimes to like craft your list, and I mean not just your list, but like the text within your list to basically say, hey, I can target the players that I think can do better, or the things that I should be expecting at the top tables. And that doesn't mean you're always going to do well, but it just means you're just a little bit more prepared, I guess. And it's just sometimes how you have to think about it, because in my opinion, when I look at it, it's like tournaments, even showdowns, are just like all hands are off. Whatever I decide to do, it's no hard feelings, but it's just like I'm there to win, I'm there to play. And then at the end of the day, like if I'm trying to learn, that's one thing, but like I want some of those promo cards. I have to get my, I don't know if it's 5th or 6th second place in a row now, but I have to get my I have to continue the trend. So
yeah, exactly. Like, and yeah, this is like going to be my first PQ of the season, so it would be nice to be able to not stress about it the rest of the year. But
yeah.
but yeah, it's, I mean, part of the prep is evaluating the meta and what you think you're going to be good into the field. And I mean, just take Bobby Sapphire, who played Palp Yellow. Like, all it takes is a couple of bad matchups, and you're out, right? I mean, you could have made a good meta call, but maybe you just ran into a couple matchups of the 6%, 6% into the field, and it just had played 3 of those decks, and now you're X3 and you're not going to make it, right? So
Yeah.
so that's just kind of the question of, can you predict or evaluate projections appropriately, and do you have the plan, whether that's going in, game 1 to get an edge, or enough of a shore up for games 2 and 3 out of the sideboard.
What was cool though as well is that can you still see I pulled up Melee?
I can't see your screen though.
No, you can't.
I cannot.
Oh.
I have a stream paused. Now I can.
Oh, gotcha.
Now it's gone.
I pulled up Melee just because I was seeing an error on Swoop Metastat,
Oh,
so I'll let Michael know. But his road to victory through this was actually met with a decent amount of aggro, if I'm not mistaken. Um,
Mm-hmm.
let's see.
Because I know
So
round one, like he ran into Sabine ECL, which you would be like, oh, that's exactly what you don't want to see round one.
yeah, and then he 2-0s it, which is
Mm-hmm.
crazy.
Yep.
His first loss was round 6 against Gar ECL, which in hindsight it's kind of similar to what you know what I was explaining with Han 1 Green. It's these units that are just buffed by Gar's passive mixed with like a little bit of pump that just go crazy. And if they can hold their ECL all the way till, Palps deploy, then they 2-for-1 any unit that just hit the board that Palp may have just taken. So I can see this kind of being like very rough for Palpatine if they have a good opening. There's little he can kind of do to interact with a decent amount of space too. But then you can go all the way down. And you'll go down to round 10 on the day 2, and you'll see he actually lost 2-1 to the same guy he played in the finals, which is pretty hilarious that he got him back in Top Cut.
Well, I don't know if you watched, because Bobby put out a video today, kind of running through his tournament run, and he was saying, he's like, I don't know what happened in round 10 because when I played him in the finals, it felt so easy. So he's like, I don't know if I just drew like really bad in round 10 or something, or but like,
yeah. What do you? I mean, you can't take them all. It's just sometimes Red Hero Blue just has the Luke on 7. The removal plus another big unit back on turn 8. And then on top of that, it's, then it's crate. It's like, all right, I need 3 answers. I need something to get the things off that are hard to kill early. And, we'll kind of continue working through this because this was something that was interesting to me as well. As it was on stream, but he beat Darth Vader, not just Darth Vader, but like probably one of the best Darth Vader players in the world. This is Matthew Yakobina, if I'm saying that correctly. I hope so. Yakko is kind of how he goes by on most Discords, but this is the top 8 Darth Vader player from Galactics, which was really cool to see. That these 2 big players got to play at the winning end. Traditionally, I would put this matchup into Darth Vader's hands. Legacy Run has been something that I know he also mentioned in that video today. It's like such a game changer for the aggro matchup, such a game changer just for Palpatine in general. But it was nice. It was cool to see that when it mattered, that a mid-range like counter deck could also pull these tricks out to like generate a win where most people wouldn't see that. So, but yeah, as soon as he had beat Justin in top 8, it looked like on stream he just had everything he needed when he wanted it, which is part of the prep. But
and it's not surprising. Like after that, you look at the remaining opponents, and you're like, this should be an easy run for Palp.
Yeah, no, he also had some good players along the way. Like I know Pasquale was on Ray Data Vault. He's I can't remember if he won a PQ already. He's won at least one PQ, but he's played a lot of Hero Blue. I think he played Yoda to some really good success. I can't remember what else. Yoda Red, if I'm not mistaken, too. But yeah, it was cool to see. Just in general, like obviously there's some people who have some not some wonderful opinions about him, but like you can't deny that he puts in the time and the effort to like try to do well at these events. And he not only closed out a planetary qualifier like less than a month ago, but he's now closed out a sector at the same time. We know someone else who's done that too, don't we, Steven?
Yeah, we do. So it's all downhill from here for Bobby, I guess. I'm just wait. Love you, Daniel.
Yeah. And Daniel makes his way into another video. there was a lot of cool decks that were kind of along the way. We saw the first game on stream was Frank from the Bothan Network, and I was so happy to see that they had decided to run Kylo back. So Kylo, or the Bothans ran, there was 3 of them. It was Frank, Lego Pizza, and Reflex. All ran the same, I'm pretty sure, the same 60 for Kylo Ren. And, you know, in a meta with Force Throw gone, it's hard to imagine that this deck could still have the legs. Although Migs is still an incredible opener. The Force Throw just was kind of like maybe a little bit of a crutch, but I can see where they've made their swaps. They went with the triple Daring Raid just to replace the 1-for-1. No Glory Only Results has been, looks like it's made a staple of at least a 1 of in all their lists. And then they went back to putting double Mahdi in the main, which is an honestly seems like a really hard ask, but I think that this deck in a meta full of Han 1s is kind of hard to play, but I would love to start getting some reps in with it again. Let's continue looking down here. Look at that. Grand Admiral Thrawn. Set 4 or Thrawn 4. Was the bubble, which is really cool. Alexander the Greatest, also KTOD. Got 10th. I know he lost to Justin for the winning in. It was one or the other, basically. And then, like I said, Matthew or Yakko. Trying to see if there's other names I'm very familiar with. Yep, there's 2 of the Bothans right down there. Sunny D got 4th. He's another KTOD guy. There's Reflex. Yeah, I mean, it's... Oh, yeah, I forgot. We could talk about the monumental cliff that Boba fell off of this event, which is probably nice to see. I was getting kind of sick of seeing it, but... Well, that's a bold move to bring that deck here. I think everyone was kind of on the assumption, like, hey, it's back to mid-range time, and that means, like, you know, your Yaddles, your Yodas, your Itinerant Warriors, the things that are just going to continue to restore well past your, you know, your small amounts of burn or chip damage from the indirect.
Right. I mean, this Thrawn list, though, I think Michael and I talked about it last week. I still don't understand the Yoda.
Let me go check it out real quick.
I don't quite understand the setup with that.
Let's see. Is it... You're talking right here, the 9th place list. Krennic makes him cost 4. Cobb Vanth can't grab him. I mean, Chimera literally just makes you draw a card.
Seems so slow, but I don't know. I just don't understand how you can play that at 5. That's what throws me off, because I would assume you would rather just like, because the other Thrawn list that I saw floating around, and the Thrawn list that I have together is I'm running Spark of Hope for additional ramp and have that other card. The Yoda just seems a little surprising to me. I mean, obviously it's another restore card to help stabilize, and then you do have the win defeated ability, but
it's definitely an Anakin trigger. But yeah, your Spark of Hope is also more interesting. But that card also doesn't stick around in your discard pile nearly
Spark of Hope does.
Spark of Hope.
You put the card that was defeated into resources.
For some reason, I think Spark of Hope goes into your resources rather than.
Mm-mm.
It's been a minute since I've seen that card.
And
man, triple Avenger.
So. Yeah.
Triple Super Laser Blast. I love Thrawn. I hope that as soon as rotation happens, Thrawn actually gets to like be the the best villainy deck. Just because I think the character is cool, but I think his ability in this game is something you always have to kind of monitor.
Yeah.
Cobb Vanth is pretty neat, but I think if he loses Cobb Vanth, it's going to be a little rough too. Or in his words, how unfortunate. But let's check out the Han Solo green list, because I'm sure that they were running the same 60 together. But I've been watching Alex run this list like for hours on end in the K2D Discord.
They were absolutely not running the same 60.
No, they weren't.
Not that I see.
Okay. I feel like they.
No, they were not.
No. Okay.
Yeah, there were differences.
Oh, okay. I was just yeah. Let's see. Sideboard
Their sideboard was the same. Sideboard was exactly the same.
Interesting. I feel like this deck is just so insanely good right now still. But
yeah.
I really didn't enjoy playing against Han 1 like before Force Throw was like everywhere. Just because like maybe it was the stain of what DJ did that like made me just hate how much ramp it could get away with. But also it was still a 4-6 on 5, while not as good as, a 3-7 in my opinion, is still a lot of damage. And then you have to add in the fact that they almost always have that blaster somehow. So it always gets a little rough. What was Alex was probably on TF what is the difference? I'll have to look later. There's space.
So Alex was running triple R2, the 2-4. Justin was only playing 2 of that.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, the only other thing that I see is Justin, instead of that R2, was running the JTL Falcon. He was running one of the JTL Falcon. So it looked like it was only the 1 card difference.
Okay. It'll be an interesting thing to see if its play percentage. I know that both Han 1 and Han 2 were some of the most played decks at this entire event. Han 1 in just about every color. I saw Han Green did well, and I think that was, if I'm not mistaken, that was Crispy who did well with it going into day 2. But I'd have to see if we can find it down in here. I know it's Han 2 Data Vault. Let's see. And Cad Bane.
Yeah,
there's a lot of it.
25th was Crispy with the Han 2 Data Vault.
Yep. Man, good job. Let's see. Cad Bane's everywhere. Everywhere.
Yeah. I mean, the other thing that I guess I wanted to point out, if memory serves correctly, was so what is it? Was it Troy? Yeah, so Troy's list, or was it Troy's? Or was it Daniel's?
Let's see. 5th place, Han Solo.
Because somebody had mentioned how, maybe it was Anakin's. Somebody had mentioned how, like, one of the players that I thought went a little, that Bobby had played and he eventually like figured out, was they were playing the list much more aggro than one usually does. So like, for example, if we look at the Han 2 Blue, for example, like he was running Hot Shot in the list.
Yeah, out of complete, well, not out of aspect, but out of aspect Smuggle.
Yeah.
Yep.
But like, I don't know necessarily what else made it that aggro, because I mean, I mean, the Anakin list, in my opinion, looks a little bit more aggro to me because you're running what 3, 6, 9.
It's only
No,
two
I guess you're
mainboard
fine.
crates, I guess. But
That's
yeah, I
been
mean,
more and more common though.
that's crazy,
That's what
especially
I thought.
for Han too. But
Yeah.
I mean, I guess that's also something that happened in the finals, so that Anakin also was only on. I'm pretty. Yep, two crates in the main.
Yep.
But it looks like the Han 2 Blue is very, very unit heavy. Like, there's not much. I mean, even the third place list is also the same. Pretty sure those two were the exact same.
Yeah, I
But
mean, like I feel like most Hantu lists, I mean, even green. I mean, you just don't need the events because you're playing so tempo. You get to play stuff out
yeah,
cheaper, and so for blue, usually the only events you now need are like the Fel, the Force Lightning, and the Power to turn on Anakin, and then aside from that, you may see like Open Fire. Um, but other than that, like yeah, it's really all the events you really see in Han 2 now that is at least coming to the top of my head.
anything special about this Mother Talzin list that got, what was this? I don't even know what place this
Is that the
is.
yellow list?
17? No, this is red.
Oh, okay.
No, they got Sorcerer's Blast. That's kind of cool. Triple planetary in the side. Goes a little bit taller with the triple dev. Old Daka in the main. I know that was starting to kind of be with the more of the mid range stuff kind of floating around. Yeah, nothing too crazy. It looks pretty neat though. Yeah. I don't really have a. There's like, I don't know how it is. I think the most interesting thing to come of this was that the Palpatine was able to do that. Like, he was able to take it all the way to the top. But aside from that, I'm not like, maybe I'm just not interested in what went, what the meta looked like. Do you have any like comments, critiques, or concerns kind of about what we see in this small window meta?
Uh, I mean, it really just does feel like Han 2 is still just pushing out a lot of the meta because the fact that aggro, I mean, they're really like you could argue. I mean, the Cad Bane's an aggro. I don't remember if this is the one drop list or not. I think it was. Yeah, it was
Let's
the
see.
one drop list, but like it really just didn't have that much aggro. I mean, even at the top tables, I mean, you could argue the Gar, another Cad, the Vader, um, but like, I mean, there's no Sabine in the top 25. Like, um, that's
Yeah.
crazy. There's no other like space aggro unless you want to call Han 2 or Han 1 green space aggro.
I
Um,
no. Oh, there's one Han Solo Autohan on at 16th, but
oh, I
like,
must have overlooked that then.
but also like
Um,
that's just one. There's one Vader. There's one Han Solo. There's a multitude of CADs, which is kind of like both a counterpick into the Hans, but also I can see what you mean by aggro because it does just pump out a ton of damage early with all the one drops. But
mhm.
I think those decks that can weather that storm are gonna just crush it into a small paper ball after. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. I don't mind like at all a fully mid range meta. There's nothing wrong with that. What's hard to do though is that like when half of the color pool of like what top 8 is, and their whole emphasis was to tone back aggression, is still dominated completely by Han 2. Then I feel like the head of the snake is still kind of there, but because like let's just take a look. We have green blue villainy, so those were still about the correct representation as to what this top 8 is. Han or red blue hero, red blue hero, red blue hero, and red blue hero. And then we do have more yellow, which is something that we didn't have very much of. We have the Palpatine. We have Han 2 or Han 1. We have Cad Bane. These things are it is skewed. It is starting to rebalance for sure, but I don't know. It's not that Han 2, I feel like is a problem per se. I just feel like he starts to skew things just because his ability is so far and above better than so many things in this game that I don't think he'll ever not be basically 3 of the next top 8 until either rotation or they say otherwise,
Yeah, I was gonna say. I mean, like three makes sense. I mean, in my opinion, it's you're never gonna get a top 8 that has less than 2 Hantu Blues.
Yeah.
That's
And I
kind of
think,
that like
yeah, I
which
think since
I mean,
set
one could be
4.
like, oh, okay, you have like one duplicate deck in the top 8, and it's like that's pretty healthy. And I don't really have much of a problem with that either.
No,
But
that's a fair assessment too.
like but I mean, even if we were to look at say the top 64, I mean, I don't know the exact breakdown, but like if out of the top 64 you've got like I don't know 15 to 20 decks are all Han 2,
I I
a
would get
little
a
bit
little bit
more.
bored of counting
Yeah,
how many there are. And
yeah.
it's the things that are coming that'll kill you kind of deal. Like what scares me is that this is kind of like the peak of what they can accomplish with some leaders, whereas like the creativity isn't pushing the other aspects, or not the aspects, but like the other portions of their creative space. Like just make things cheaper is not a good answer to like how to, I guess I'll just call it game development. How about that? I'm not a game developer, but also like this isn't like a very interesting thing to be doing. And maybe that's always been my gripe with Han, is that like he's the best at what he does, but also like what he's doing is only like it's very obvious, if that makes
Yeah.
sense too. Metas that kept him in check all the way up till like he was great in set 2. He really wasn't around for set 3 that much, if I'm not mistaken. I don't remember why. Was it because of Django? Django wasn't insane at that time. What was
What? At the end? Oh, at the beginning of set 3,
I mean, like
it
why? Yeah,
was.
why wasn't he like as broken as people feel like he? I mean, not broken, but like why isn't he where he is now? Because set.
I'm trying to remember because I mean Django was on the up and up.
Yeah,
Because set 3, because because I played in the new year, like one of the first PQs, I think for set 3,
yeah, that was the
right?
PQU one.
Or the end, or towards the end. I think it was towards the end, right?
Hmm.
So what else even played? It was
I know. That was kind of like the birth of Palpatine Yellow.
It was probably, I think Quinlan was pretty popular.
That's fair. Quinlan was
Quinlan was
very
pretty
good.
popular. Sabine was still popular. Uh, Kira, I think, was still popular.
Yeah, that was
Trying to think
before
what
Data Vault.
else.
That's weird to think of a time without Data Vault now.
Bosk, I think, still existed.
Yeah, I'd played a bit of Bosk at a PQ.
Trying to think what else. Man, I think that was kind of the main stuff.
I know Han 2 Green really wasn't something to think about back then, but I know Han Blue, obviously, like this is before the Force. There's
Yeah,
no. This is before Triple Dark right into Devastator. I mean,
yeah,
Triple Dark was still there. Maybe it was just the part of Django just being able to continuously tap stuff down. Because like even set 3 Django had some feel bad qualities. It was definitely a much more interesting deck than set 4, where it was just broken. But
yeah. Yeah, I don't know why I'm blanking on. I'm sure CAD still existed to an
add,
that
yeah.
was CAD was popular. I mean, I don't know. I felt like the Twilight meta was one of the most interesting. once Django kind of just before Django got really popular, and then I
Yeah.
mean even towards the beginning of JTL.
Oh,
Um,
was it Han 1 yellow? Is that part of the reason?
Han Double Yellow. That might have been, yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
That was
it
also
was
all
also
over the
because they
place.
just didn't have the force units that they do. Like,
Yeah.
but even in
I mean,
set
I mean, they also
4,
just didn't have this as many units that just like, oh man, it's actually they had just busted units they could cheat out, right? Like, I mean,
yeah,
sure, you always had Poe. Like, Poe was excellent if you didn't have a way to deal with it right away. That was a problem. You still had access to crate, but like on the in between, they didn't really
yeah,
have the same kind of
yeah,
stuff. I mean, if they had Itinerant Warrior back then, I'm sure it would have been crazy because a
yeah,
4-2 shielded unit for 3 would have been very, very good. Grogu's also
yeah.
just
Grogu. They didn't have Ezra. They didn't have they didn't have Poe unit for the green decks. They didn't have. I mean, they had Luke, but they didn't have Mace.
yeah,
Yeah. I mean, I remember in set 1 using Han 2 to, bring out a Chewie to finish something like the Chewbacca from Shadows was pretty
yeah.
cool. But like, yeah, I think in overall, I think its tenure or its time, it's been mostly meta prevalent. As soon as DJ and Django and Triple Dark Raid were taken out of the meta, though, I think we haven't seen a kind of release of this pressure that Han 2's put on the card pool. Like, man, you could turn Han 2 into like a 0/6, and I think he'd still probably be one of the better leaders. I Or at least even like a 1/2, but like, or a 1/6, not a 1/2. That'd be almost as bad as Bale.
I was gonna say, like, what's the point of deploying? Why ever deploy?
You mean you don't want to pitch your 2 cards from your hand to play a Battlefield Marine, Steven? Oh, he'll keep coming back. He's like that Homer's or the Simpsons meme. I don't know. I think the game would feel like I don't like the idea of banning things because they need to be banned, or because they don't need a ban, but because of how people feel about them, especially with rotation coming up in like 5 months from now. Um, I also just think that when something is so overtly like the majority of like overtly of a like a non unique sense to me, like Anakin doing well is really cool to me because I think that Anakin takes his ability and makes other cards better. Whereas like Han 2 makes everything better. Like
Yeah, it takes good
yeah.
cards and is like,
Yeah.
now you have to deal with me a turn earlier,
Yeah.
right? It I don't do I want to say enhances it. It just makes the good card already just that much feel that much stronger
Yeah.
because the options of what you have to play and the options that your opponent now has to like deal with uh just expands because you're like in poker, what are the range of hands that my opponent could have that I could play, and it's like Han 2 just being able to cheat stuff out just opens that range.
Yeah. And I think that like there's obvious, there's answers. Tarkin Town is one of them, and uh
Yeah,
but the decks that do well with Tarkin Town just got one of their better cards taken away, which is fine. I'm still not saying this is a reason to bring Force Throw back. I think Force Throw was still this like absolute dead blow to some decks for completely no reason. But like, man, does that, Poe on 4, Mace on 5, Luke on 6, get a little like, am I playing against the color pool or am I playing against a Han deck?
right. Because
And
I know what, like, whenever I play against Han 2 and they, I'm on 6, they've deployed Han, they're at 6 resources, and it's like, okay, well, what are they going to do this turn? Well, I guess they could
surprise.
play Mace or they could play like Rebellious Hammerhead.
Yeah.
But then it's like, well, if they're able to Luke me, that's even more devastating. So it's like, man, I would love to just be able to ignore this Han on the
Hmm.
board. Like, oh, it's a 3/6. I don't really care about it. But like the Luke is just so much more problematic than the Mace coming down usually, right? So
I almost have to think about it. Like, you have to look at these Han decks as decks with like they're virtually what, they're almost always 20 HP force spaces unless you're playing Data Vault now. So,
yeah,
but also like that Han has to die. It has to die before they can get to like curve out the 7 cost easier.
yeah,
So there's really no choice but saying your opponent has a 34 HP base, because that Han can't continue to exist, or on turns it'll just play 2 units for cheaper, because it doesn't
yeah,
it if Han exhausted itself, then I'd be fine. This card is completely okay. You know,
yeah,
there's no limitations to what it can, like it can't do. I'm going to play 1 unit in space for cheaper. I'm going to play 1 on the ground for cheaper in the same turn. Your Power of the Dark Side doesn't make any sense anymore. Unit recursion's it's always so good, and his ability just enables that.
yeah.
Um, I hate complaining about it because like I haven't even been like, for those who aren't, I haven't been to like League in like I think like 2 weeks. No, I think I was there last like 2 weekends. Like,
It's I mean, it's been 2 weeks that you haven't been there, so you were there three
yeah.
weeks ago, I guess.
Yes, I think so. Yeah.
Was that right?
No, I was there 2 weeks ago, but before that, I missed it because I played in the showdown 3 weeks ago. So
Mm.
it
Well, I just know you weren't there Sunday the last 2 weeks. This past Sunday and the week before.
I think so. I think so.
Yeah.
I can't. Yeah. Um. It's like I'm not bored of the game. I'm just trying to make sure that like while I have other busy life stuff going on, I don't burn out and then not. When I show up to League, I want to make sure I have the energy that I want to play the game in a in a fun way.
Yeah.
Which everyone has to take a break, and I know you mentioned it earlier. It's like we're kind of in a slump right now. We've had a very long time with this current meta, and even if you take out the force throw window, it's like, as we have talked about, the card pool really didn't change that much, in my opinion.
Yeah.
It is nice to see the Han ones back. Like they deserve they they deserve to get to play the game too. And that's what force throw is doing. So that's what we all like. We're basically saying it's like you can't expect that card to exist in a vacuum that creates diversity. But yeah. What do we got this upcoming weekend? It's another sector, right? It's the Philly one.
I think Philly's this weekend. Man, it
Yeah,
seems
yeah.
so quick
It's
though. Yeah, it is.
the draft one.
Philadelphia. Yeah.
Draft slash oh my
Right.
gosh, sealed. There we go.
Yeah.
Which is going
Seal
to be
slash draft.
awesome.
Yeah.
I know there's a bunch of big name teams going out there to play, just because I know it's closer to a lot of the East Coast stuff for most players. Those are always hard to watch to me because it's like I really actually enjoy drafting. I have a lot of fun with it, but it's that thing that I'm like, this is something I'd rather be doing than watching. At least that's how I feel about it. Because like when you see a draft pool, like there could be a lot of things that pop up sometimes.
Yeah.
But on a big tournament level, I would like to do that at some point. I don't know when. I mean, I know we're supposed to get the announcement soon for Secrets of Power, Secrets of Power sectors and regionals. So fingers crossed that we can get to some bigger events in the near future.
I think it'd be interesting too with the size of what the sector will be. I don't know how large it'll be, but I'm assuming it's going to be like about 400 people again at minimum.
Yeah.
But with that size, it'll be interesting to see like do I mean, obviously you'll see a lot of similar leaders and such, but when you start getting into the usage of like rare cards or legendary cards, it's like you know, if you take a look at, say, all the day two people, it's like, oh, look, all of the day two people had, you know, very particular cards that in their deck, because you just kind of need this kind of power level that
Yeah,
even though it's less common,
protect the
or maybe we
pod.
won't see that. Maybe you know, maybe it will just be player skill outperforming you know, card pool extensively. But
Yeah,
um, I don't know. It'll be interesting just to see, you know, compare top 64 to top 8. Does all top 8 have like, oh, well, obviously they made top 8. They've got, oh, this guy has double Anakin in his deck, or so, you know, some crazy ratio like that, right?
yeah. There's that tiny like 1%er that's like
Yeah.
less than, where it's like, did I hit both an Anakin and a Vader, and am I playing like Talzin red with like triple assassin,
Yep.
but I think it's always interesting. It's very fun too. Like I think when I go to that kind of event, or like when I play on, Sundays with the locals, I'm just like, I think I'm in a better mood to just have a good time rather than just like prep and then not do well, if that makes sense. Like mentally, I'm like, I know this could go poorly, so I prep myself for that. And then normally
Gotcha.
I'm like, I think I can do well enough without like, you know, uh,
Gotcha.
I don't know. It's a good time. I wish that there was, it's where sealed and draft get into like this like viewer friendly portion where it's like, are we going to get to see the players build their decks? Are we going to get to see like, how does the draft even function for stream? Also, you should do a huge shout out here real quick, because I mean, you were watching the stream this weekend, but to like late night gaming, TTI, unlimited power, yeah, those three, like, huge shout outs to those guys for getting the stream up this weekend. I know that they had a whole bunch of like production issues with quality and all that, because the venue wanted 10 grand for a hardline internet connection. Is insane. So obviously, the community kind of pulled together and they were able to give us something, which is better than nothing. And when I say that, I mean like it was actually still good quality, and they should be proud of that. And through all the troubleshooting that they probably had to do, including like their hotspot going down, and I think they said several times that they were filming, or not filming, but pulling the hotspot from the bottom of the hotel or something like that. Like, that's crazy. Like that's the stuff Stories is made. That's Star Wars right there. Like, you did the thing through all the through all the tribulations, and it was scuffed along the way, but we got there. That 1 in a million. So I hope, with that sense, that it goes easier for those who are trying to hopefully stream Philly, because I will definitely be trying to tune in for that. Same with is Bilbao this weekend, or is that next weekend?
Is what this weekend?
The Spain regional. I think that's a week and a half.
I don't know.
Fair. Yeah. Well, we didn't get the regional. Europe got it, so that'll be exciting to see. Especially with this like window of development where maybe people were sleeping on Palpatine. So hopefully we'll see what their meta kind of develops into. They always come out with some more unique stuff, which is totally fine.
Interesting, since they're a little bit more control heavy. So
we'll
be very curious.
Yeah. I was kind of wondering if
Piet Blue.
I was wondering if we'd see Bosk like show up. It's been a minute, and I know there's people playing it, but how much?
I'm trying to remember. There was something somebody said to me about why Bosk just isn't good at like performing in the same way anymore, and I can't remember what it was.
I feel like he's still that like Data Vault is just better in blue combos than it is red to me, and I think that's part of it, because like he just has to go so much longer into the vigilance matchup that like you need those 10 cards pretty bad.
Yeah,
But,
I remember why. The boss blue, it's not doing as well because you just don't have enough removal to deal with the Data Vault decks.
yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
You can only super laser blast so many times.
Yep.
Whew. Yeah. Pour one out for Bosk. I miss that later.
Yeah. I mean, I still think boss blue could do stuff, but then again, it's just like, why not just play a different leader? Right?
Yeah. Yeah. What's crazy is I guess we saw the Gar that did really well, that got up there. I was kind of curious to see how many, like, if there was more ECL Vader decks that would perform well. It looks like no, not really. I mean, there's timely Vader decks, as in like that Kira, but like few and far between. Yeah. I'm trying to think. Nope, wrong thing. Let me get rid of that real quick. Pull up this. Let me bring it over to the window. There we go. Echo Base. No, that was, let's see, Gar. You said there was a Talzin Yellow, or am I mistaken?
Well, I thought I know Bobby said he played a Talzin Yellow, I thought. Maybe I'm yeah, he played it in round 11. So I'm guessing they didn't make well, let's see, does it tell me here what they finished? 17th? Uh yeah, strangled cliffs, right? That's
Oh no,
yellow.
that's red. Because you got yeah.
What am I thinking of then?
I didn't see any so far, but
maybe I'm just confusing it. Maybe I just remember him talking about how, I don't know, red or yellow comparisons or something.
Well, there's also I see here at 27th and 37th, there's two Yoda force green bases, which is pretty cool. That's interesting. Another Gar Saxon, more Han, Kaz at 43rd. First Sabine, I think, goes all the way down to 45th place. Is that my...
I think so. I don't remember seeing one in the top 25, so...
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah. And let's see, I'm curious, what did it run into? Played a Kanan Data Vault round 1.
Huh.
Yeah. Played a Cad Bane. It lost to... Oh, wow. Oh, never mind. Thief Palace, that's green. So it lost to a Han 1 green. Beat a Piet blue. Beat a Han 2 blue. Beat a Dr. Afra yellow. In round 6.
Someone's out there cooking.
Now I'm... Okay, how did this Dr. Afra do? He finished 186th, I guess. He went 4-4. Okay. But Dr. Afra, he lost to Han 2 blue. He beat Han 1 green. So he split the Han matchups respectively. He lost to Matthew Yokobina's Vader Yellow. And then proceeded to beat a Vader Yellow.
Oh. You learn real quick.
Yeah, he lost 2-0 to Matthew's Vader Yellow, and then he beat a Vader Yellow 2-0. So, and then he lost to Anakin Blue and beat Gar Yellow. So,
well, you could take a look at some. Let's see.
Sleepy Gato. Does that name sound familiar? Sleepy
Gato. No, not to me. What was I? I was gonna look up. Competitive.
I feel like That
Oh.
name's super familiar.
Let's see. I want to see if we can look over. Let's see, events. Is there a way to?
Aha! That name is familiar because I played them in Minneapolis. That's
Oh,
why. I was like, I know for a fact I've played this person.
total events. That's after. Yeah, look at that. Leader base, leader winner. Man, I mean, there was even Quinlan's that made day 2 that did well. It's crazy. Still a good deck.
Oh.
Just yeah.
I know this is off topic, but I'm laughing because I just realized that Sleepagato, who I played in regionals in round 5, then also played Derek in the final round of the day.
Wow. Dude, that's what I need to like. I wish I could make the KC one pretty badly because I want to see those guys and hang out with everybody. But yeah, just falls on a busy month for me. I'm hoping to see that these sectors and these regionals that come up around next are just a little bit closer. You know, we didn't really, which is fine. We didn't, you know, we don't have to get something in the Midwest every time. But like, you know, FFG headquarters is not too far away. We have Chicago, St. Louis, Denver. You know, there's a lot of choices.
True.
But
I get it, though.
yeah, I'd play in any of them. You know, just to have fun. The cool regionals or the cool promos that they were handing out at the sector. I saw people just posting about them, and man, like I love the ones that I got from Denver, but like they stepped their game up for the official like season 1 launch. So
Yeah.
need to get me some cool sets of those. Yeah. Is there anything like I guess like you're looking forward to particularly about Secrets of Power right now? We've had a few things launched since last week, or a few cards release.
I mean, I think the main thing that I'm looking forward to at this point is I think there's some unique leader strategies that they've shown, or just some unique leaders that can result in unique strategies or things that are a little different from what we have seen, just from cards that are played in a deck. I think that's the main thing because obviously, what is it, Mon Mothma, where you can play officials without a villainy or without a non-villainy penalty.
Yeah,
So
that's pretty cool.
So yeah, so I think we could get some interesting plans off of that. I think is it Bale the one that can deploy repeatedly?
Yeah.
I think that's interesting. And then yeah,
I
I
think
don't know. The double yellow also could be
yeah,
interesting. I mean, how broken is the option to be able to play double yellow into with another color? I know you don't get the heroism, but like, you know, we really have not actually seen a scenario where you can just play double aspect and another color, right? So
yes.
I think that interaction is just interesting.
I
So
agree with that. Like it's this tidbit like, oh, huh. Will it be good? That's the real question. But DJ is like at least interesting enough to me that like, you know, like we could, you know, you deploy your DJ, a unit of yours captures, you know, one of your own units, kills something with ambush. Let's say like you know, what's the syndicate lackey something for ambush it. Capture your own, and then the next turn, you know, you swing with that thing. You can also evacuate the whole board while DJ's in play, and that brings one of your own units back in ready. So like it's got some interesting stuff to it. Waylay, I mean, just you think of it really. Capturing your own stuff though, I don't know, but it does create the cool like interesting loop of like protecting your own unit and reusing it when you need to, rather than like it just being on the board and always being available to be attacked. But I'll be curious, like that. Like you said, the losing the hero and villainy aspect is, unfortunately, it might be worse off for it. But in Twin Suns, you can do some pretty wacky stuff. You could have 5 different aspects if you really want to do that in Twin Suns now. I guess 5, but 1 double. 4. I'm doing my math wrong. You can have 5 total aspects, but you'll have 1 duplicate and double yellow. So yeah. But who knows?
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, a lot of interesting stuff, like the new leader they released today, Sabe.
Oh my gosh!
Today, I think. I mean, again, a little ties into the ability to mill a deck, but I mean, it's just so much disruption, right? I mean, you have so much potential to disrupt, which is really crazy.
Well, we got that. We got the 1/3 villainy. That's kind of like our new Bazine. We have
the Stolen Star Path. Yeah. It's crazy to me. It blows my mind. I'm like, I didn't expect to see so much Andor theme stuff.
Oh, it's cool.
Out of the set, and I love it. Like, I'm like, oh, that's so cool. Because like in my head, I'm like, Andor like came out just a little while ago. Part of that because we got season 2 this year, but I just it's a new flavor, right? It's a little bit of a new flavor that we haven't yet seen out of other Star Wars content, right? So it's kind of like the first time that we're getting it outside of the show.
Yeah, I know we got Luthen in this last set, but like this last set was, we've had space, we've had Jedis and Sith, and now we're finally at like the politics. Like this is honestly probably the 3 pillars of Star Wars is that right there. And then, they'll cycle in the flavor a little bit here and there. It's really cool to see, Nihilus and Scion and Travala. Is that how you say her name?
Treya.
Treya. Okay.
Treya, Scion, Nihilus.
Okay. I don't know I know they're from KOTOR 2. What are they called? The 3?
The Triumvirate.
Okay.
The Sith Triumvirate. Treya is like the weird, interesting thing where she like used to be a Jedi, and then she like fell to the dark side, and then she became Kreia, who is like the weird like Force philosopher that you hear about in the game. And then Darth Nihilus is like he like sucked the life force energy out of like an entire planet, and so he's not even like alive. He's just kind of a void that sucks the energy out. And then Scion is just like the dark side user that's just like too angry to die.
Sound like real Marvel characters. That's what, like, this is where I get lost, because I know we've talked about it, like the old video game stuff. I don't have a full understanding. By the way, for if anybody's keeping up with it, I did finish the first Force Unleashed. I can't remember if I said it on an episode previously. I'm a quarter or about halfway through the second one. I did get both Survivor and Fallen Order for like $20 on Steam. So
you're gonna love them. You're gonna love them. Oh, so good.
I love VD1, so no matter what happens, I'll have a good time. I just got to figure out when to play them. Steven and I have been cripply addicted to Megabonk for the last like week and a half, or at least I have. I know I'm getting him there, but it's just a fun little game when everything's in a little bit of a lull. We're at a little about an hour and a quarter. Was there anything in particular you wanted to touch on? Anything I missed from last week that we needed to follow up with?
I don't really do any predictions from last week.
I can
Not that
pull
I
up
can
Swoodle.
remember, anyways. Yeah, let's pull up Swoodle and see. I mean,
Okay.
so far, I think we've been pretty good on the Swoodle. We've been pretty good on Swoodle because we got it in what 3 the first time and 3, and we got it 3 last time as well.
All right. I think so. So now we have expectations, and I don't know how I feel about
I
that.
know. I
Don't.
know.
All
Don't
right.
worry.
Let's carry me, Steven. Okay. Swoodle is
You
up.
had to help me out last week.
All right. Where do we start?
All right. Okay.
Um,
I can't currently see your screen.
you can't see my screen.
I don't even know if you're sharing right now. I don't actually see your window up.
Let me. Oh, that's right. Better?
All right. Let's see. Yes.
Okay. Where would you like to start today?
Well, I like to start with, so I don't know. Do we start with the same thing as we did last week, or we want to switch it up? Because in my
Well,
head, I feel like we usually want to start with like a 4 or a 5 cost unit, like to kind of figure out where to start. So, like last week, we
that's
started
fair.
with the Legends of the Force Luke. We
Okay.
could start with like the 5-drop Kiadi Mundi if we wanted to.
Ooh. I like the idea of something that covers as many aspects as possible. If that makes sense. Most aspects. So I like that Luke is
He's just heroism, isn't he? That Luke.
yeah. How about we do
That's
itinerant warrior? Sound all
sure.
right? We
Works
got
for
a
me.
itinerant. There we go. Internet warrior. Make guess. All right. So
Okay.
we know it's some version of a generic, and we know its rarity. And then after that, it is not Legends of the
It's a
Force.
space unit.
It is a space unit.
Costs
And
less
it
and it's a
is.
common.
So I'm thinking of JTL immediately.
I'm thinking Trade Federation shuttle.
Trade Federation shuttle.
Or I'm sorry, that's a blue card, so never mind.
Yeah. How about Republic Y-wing?
Is that
Any?
heroism?
Nope.
No, it is just yellow. Okay, yeah, go for that.
I think that Republic Y-wing. Oh gosh.
It's
There it
just a
is.
space. Yeah.
All right. So we
Okay,
have.
so it has 1 power. It's a common. It's not JTL. It's not
Wow.
cunning.
Not JTL. So we have. Oh my gosh. Not JTL. What was Droid Starfighter in? Droid Starfighter was in set 3.
Isn't Droid Starfighter like 1 cost?
Oh, it is. Yeah, good call.
So
Good call.
so we need something that costs more than that. Nah, so now I'm trying to think what 1-drop ships even, or what ships have more or 1 power and less than 3 health,
That's
but
that's where
costs more than 1. Um
oh
what's
man.
the one where like on attack, mill a card from your deck if it's like a non-unit, give an experience token to something? Does that have 3 health or no?
Oh, I don't even know what you're referring to.
It's from I think it's from Twilight.
1 cost.
I don't think it's a 1/2 though, is the problem.
What is Green Squadron?
It's a 1/3. So they can't
No,
be
it
Green
needs
Squadron.
needs less health.
Yeah.
That's the tough part right there to me.
I was gonna say like Gil. Well, it can't be Mining TIE Fighter because that's a 1-drop.
And it's cunning.
And it's cunning. Okay. So what's a red? So we probably want to look at red, or do we want to think of green? I feel like green. probably even more possibilities. I feel like it's more likely to be green.
What set was? Oh no, that was set 4. That I can't remember his name. The neutral that you could have as many as or up to 15.
Swarming
Yeah,
vulture druid.
but it couldn't be that anyway because
No, so it's not
of
that.
power.
Oh man. I feel like it's probably leaning towards a Twilight card.
That's what I'm thinking too. Just because the set was so bad. No, it can't be cunning because I was like soulless one, but it's got to be a common. Plus, it's got to be not cunning. So it's either red, green, and it's not heroism because it would have been at least half. You know what I mean? Or this would have been orange. So
it could be villainy. It could potentially be villainy.
Villainy or neutral. Less than. It's between 2 and 3 cost. I'm assuming we caught the fighter tag there. Maybe vehicle. Definitely not
vehicle.
Republic.
It'd probably be vehicle. But I mean, for all we know, it could be. I mean, if it's Twilight, it could be Republic vehicle, right?
Yeah, that's fair.
So that's the question. So, oh man, what are the possible space units out of Twilight?
Oh, it can't be the V-wing because the V-wing was yellow.
Wait. What's the card that's like when played draw card? Because it's like a 1. It's like a 2 or it's a 2/2, isn't it?
Are you thinking the one that hurts itself?
No, it's like the green card. It's like, and I think maybe it's smuggleable.
Oh,
but it's a 2/2, right?
It is a V-wing, if I'm not mistaken.
It's not crack shot V-wing.
No, what's that's a rare. Never mind.
Type it in. Type like V-wing in.
All right.
And just see what pops up.
Patrolling?
Patrolling?
Oh.
That's a 2/2, right?
I don't remember, but I think it could help us get something out of the way.
All right, because that's set 1, right?
Yeah, I think it was printed in 2 sets.
Well, no, it had to be set 2, right? Because it's Muggle, right?
No, patrolling viewing is definitely a set 1 card.
Oh, okay.
But I'm okay with doing it to get more out of the way, if that makes.
Yeah, I think it's a 2/2, but I mean, yeah, we can do it to get out of the way.
I think it's a 2/2 as well. Oh.
We did it!
What the hell? It was a power 1? It was a 1/1 for 2? Oh my god.
The card is OP. Oh my goodness, I'm so happy right now.
Wait, we did it in 3. That's funny.
We did it.
Oh my gosh. All right, guys. Well, you heard it here first.
Where the goats?
3 for 3 for 3 for 3. So that's funny. Patrolling V-wing it is. Yeah. If you guys made it this far, please leave a comment down below telling us how, or actually tell us what deck Steven should play for KC. You know, I think that's a great idea because I don't think he knows, and if he doesn't, he's going to auto default to Ray, and I don't think anybody wants to see that. But yeah. Anything else before we sign off, sir?
If you're going to Philadelphia, have fun. Good luck with your polls.
Yes, yeah, that would be. I don't know if we have anybody doing that just cause, but like at the same time, if I haven't been around enough to like know, that would be awesome. Like send us your card pool, you know, tell us. I mean, just tell us how you did too. You know, come back next week. But in the meantime, take it easy and good luck at your tournaments. So we will see you all in the next one. Peace out.